Good evening, my name is Thomas Quinn. I'm Administrative Captain with the City of Portage Fire Department. I'm here today to talk to you all about community risk reduction inside the community of the city. What is community risk reduction? Well, community risk reduction is the identification and prioritization of risks, threats, and hazards within the city. We'll then follow up by the implementation and evaluation of strategies and how they affected the impact of the community. So we're going to explain the concept of community risk reduction and its values for an organization's growth and efficiency. If an organization is not aware of the community in which they have to serve, they're not going to very well serve that community. The city of Portage is a very unique community in which it's located on the Gulf Coast. The city of Portage responds to more water rescues typically than we do structure fires. So we need to make sure that our evaluation and our community risk reduction is geared towards water. Unfortunately, in a way, that's what we deal with inside of our area. Some communities deal with backing up to heavily wooded areas. Some communities deal with rural water supplies. Our community is unique in which the fact of that we have water just about within everywhere of our jurisdiction. So explain the data that we use to identify this risk. Well, as we know, the city of Portage is a Gulf Coast community located in West Central Florida. It's within Pasco County. The city itself is 2.28 square miles. In 2022, we had a population of 3,119 individuals within the city. Our growth rate is currently at 2.03%, and our population density is 1,405 people per square mile. It's a pretty thick population density. So, what is our department? Well, the City of Portage Fire Department has one station. We're 50 personnel, of which 25 are paid and 25 are volunteer. We have 2 engines, 3 support vehicles, 1 command vehicle, and 3 boats. When we're breaking down the information, like I mentioned before, we have to identify what is our community. Well, our community is what we said. It's a Gulf Coast community located on the Gulf Coast. And we face a unique area in the fact that most of our residents have some type of golf access, boat docks, or fresh or saltwater pools in the rear of their home. With this increased area and the fact that we have 5 marinas and other vessels that pass through our area, we have the increased risk for something that we call electric shock drowning. So we also broke it down to follow our area by square miles. Our population growth, we need to know what our population growth is. We've got a community that's projected at 1,850 residents by the year of 2023. That's going to increase that population growth that's located on the waterways. We also broke it down by race, by age, by the sex. And when we're talking about this, we need to know what type of incidents we have. And we mentioned before about us responding to those. Well, how do we pull that data? Well, last year, we ran a total of 1,394 calls, of which 71% was EMS related and 29% was fire related. Of those other fire related, we ran 25 water rescue incidents last year alone. So, we're going to describe at least one risk that impacts the emergency service delivery. This is that risk, the electric shock. If we can go back to the first slide to describe what electric shock is. Next one. So electric shock drowning happens when electric current, typically a low-level AC current from boats, docks, lights, escapes, and shocks nearby swimmers. The shock paralyzes them so they can't swim or help themselves. Electricity may be introduced into the water from various ways, including improperly wired pumps, boats, lighting, or have lost their ground out by the water. This is one of those things that we're able to do. Well, we're going to estimate the risk and the cost of the organization and the community of what it's going to do. Well, the cost is probably high to the fact that our social and the fact that if we have people inside the water entering the water of this unknown issue of electric shock drowning, well, until we identify that and educate the public, right now the public's at risk of that area. Describe what community risk reduction mitigation strategy would apply. Well, what we would apply is, one of the things we can do is provide electric shock alarms. An electric shock alarm is an AC current stick that floats on top of the water, like we have here. And what this does, when activated, if there's any kind of AC current, it will alarm. And it'll send an alarm out to the swimmers, the firefighters, or whoever that there is current AC inside there. We can go around and educate. We can have partnerships with the community and our local Home Depots, Lowe's, to be able to partner so we can have these devices available for our residents to purchase. Well, the big question that a lot of administrators have and a lot of city councils have is, what is the cost? What is it going to cost us? Well, the man hours, of course, is a cost to develop and implement this community risk reduction plan and the strategies, the follow-up that going out there. But what does that cost really entail for somebody's life? You know, where we're going to put aside to that. But other than that, it's pretty simple on the fact that we need to look at a risk within our community, prioritize it, implement something, and evaluate. I appreciate your time, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you.